Marquez, and today we are bringing to you an interview session with Ms. Mona Awad. Morning Listeners is an online magazine dedicated to women. It showcases various articles, personal life stories, and interview sessions on different matters concerning women. And today our interviewee, Ms. Mona, happens to be the CEO of Hōlistic Lifestyle Systems. So let us welcome our interviewee. Hello, Mona.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm doing good today. So how are you doing?
Lovely, lovely. It's freezing in New Jersey, but it is warm in my house. So I am perfectly content.
That's great. So since you're on board with Morning Listeners, let's begin from the morning itself. How do you normally kickstart your day?
Normally I start my day by getting up and walking my two adorable dogs. That's been a little bit more challenging recently because one of them took my knee out, but I nevertheless continue to walk them every morning. Then I come inside and I'll journal and I'll meditate, and then I'll start my day.
That's great. And it's great that and it is great to know that you are a dog parent as well.
Oh, I love them. They're perfect. I went into the pandemic with 0 dogs. I came out of it with 2, and I wouldn't change a thing.
That's great. So what made you smile today?
Lots of things make me smile today. I got to wake up and do things I love. I got to connect with people that I love. I'm speaking with you, which makes me super duper happy. And I made myself some yummy cream of rice, which also makes me happy.
That's great. So what is a goal you've set to achieve by the end of this day?
By the end of this day, that's an interesting question. I think for Sundays, typically, my goals are always the same, which is to learn something that I otherwise wouldn't spend any time thinking about. Like, I think it's really important to constantly be broadening your horizons about just things that you wouldn't ordinarily think about. So today I'm going to watch a couple of videos on human evolution and go to bed smarter than I woke up.
That's interesting. Right. So since you're from New Jersey, tell us something that makes New Jersey special to you.
Well, it's interesting because I'm actually from Canada. My dad is Egyptian and my mom is Filipina, and Canada is about the only place where you can make a person like that. But New Jersey is special to me for similar reasons. There are all kinds of people here. All of us sort of striving to do the best we can and make things in the world. And there's a kind of diversity here that I think is really supportive of all kinds of innovation, all kinds of interesting opportunities for cultural interchange. And that's where you will always find me, in the places where lots of different kinds of folk meet.
That's interesting, and I think it's really true. When you live among the diversity, it really changes a lot about your perceptions about different people from different cultures. Like, for example, I'm from Dubai, and I have friends from different nations, from all around the world, and we have festivals like the Expo, the Global Village, where people from different cultures join together and they become happy. So I can relate the happiness you get derived by living with the diverse people around you.
Absolutely. And I think it creates such amazing, energetic exchange of ideas. And I can't imagine of a more hellish place than some place where just everyone agreed with me all the time. That would feel like the worst kind of prison to me.
Very true. So what did you have on your breakfast bar today?
Well, this morning I had some greens, I had some roasted broccolini, I had an egg white omelet with onions that I made for myself because I like cooking. It gives me a really nice space of peace between the emails during the day, and it's sort of my way to connect with my own home.
Sounds cool. So now let us move on to some questions about the Hōlistic Lifestyle Systems. So what exactly is Hōlistic Lifestyle Systems all about?
We do full service holistic healing. So from balancing your gut and your diet and your exercise to all of the emotional blocks that come with trying to make transformational change, all of the sort of inner work that allows us to uptake new habits new goals, new ways of thinking about ourselves, new ways of talking to ourselves that support that transformational change. So we take a look at the entire human with the understanding of the issues that they bring to us. And we put together personalized, bespoke programs for them so that they can support the changes that they want to make in their lives.
Interesting. So what are the services you render through the same platform?
So, as I said, we are a holistic health company. So basically what it is that we do is we revolutionize the way that people look at their health and experience their health on a day-to-day basis. So the services that we have are supportive of that. If you have gut dysbiosis, for example, problems digesting your food, we can look specifically at the reasons why your gut may be acting in a particular way. But what we will also do is we'll take a look at your emotional world, and we'll take a look at the factors of your day-to-day life, your quote-unquote exposome, what surrounds you. And we will offer coaching services to assist you in making your gut feel better by looking at all the different aspects of your health and human life. Because despite what we may want to believe, sometimes physical problems are actually emotional problems, and sometimes emotional problems are actually physical problems. And without taking the time to really know your patient, really know your client, you're not going to be able to really offer them something that actually works. Like when you think about it, all of the exercise programs in the world are on the internet. All of the diets in the world are on the internet. And yet people can't seem to find a way to get themselves healthy. In fact, these days, almost so much of what used to be special knowledge for therapists is actually on the internet. Why can't people get emotionally healthy? It's because there isn't a support system necessarily that takes into account the entire human. And that's what we do. And our programs are really threefold. We've got individualized coaching. We've got a monthly subscription product called Whole Being, which will take you through 100% of the curriculum of getting to know yourself and figuring out your physical and emotional issues. And we also have a year-long marquee program called Elevate, which will teach you how to do this for yourself, how to emotionally coach yourself, how to physically coach yourself, so that by the end of the year, whatever it is that you set out to do with your health and well-being, you will have done.
That sounds really interesting to me. Right. So what are some initiatives or programs you're planning to implement this year?
So this year, we are also looking at natural ways to balance women's hormonal health. That's a big thing. A woman over the course of her life will go through, about 18,000 different cycles of, her own hormonal life from puberty to menopause. And there is such a lack of really good information out there that's accessible, that allows women at varying ages to eat the foods that are supportive of good hormonal health, to take the mindfulness practices and the physical movement practices, which really support you as a woman through the various stages of your life, and also to assist women, particularly women who are going through menopause, who want to avoid traditional hormone therapy, find ways to modify their environment, modify their stress levels, modify their food intake, so that they can balance those hormones utilizing just what they have in front of them in their daily lives, and not relying on I don't want to call them artificial, because that's not what they are, and I don't want to shame anybody for doing whatever it is they need to do. But just to have that sort of ability to get control in your natural life over your hormones and over your hormonal health is something that we think is a really critically important space to enter into. As you may know, we also have a teen-focused product. Mental health over the last 2 years, when we've all been locked in our rooms in one way or another, has been, I think one of those issues that a lot of ink has been spilled over, and a lot of agita has been sort of experienced, especially by parents and young children who are suffering from that type of social isolation. So we teach kids in our teen program sort of how to manage their emotions and to use their words to describe their needs and to represent themselves appropriately and be advocates for their own mental and physical well-being.
Well, that's a wonderful initiative. I think many women nowadays are actually opening up about the problems with regards to menopause and menstruation and so on. So things like gradually they are turning out to be not taboos, and they are emerging from our society as the topics that we should all talk about nowadays. So your initiative sounds really good, and I hope it really helps out the women who are being a part of the same. Right. Now, after I viewed your website, I had seen a couple of coaching sessions, workshops, and meditations. And one that caught my eye was, what exactly does the coaching on teen, young adult wellness sessions intend to convey? Or how do you proceed with the coaching sessions normally?
Oh, those we have a diverse staff of coaches, and the coaching product that you see on our website is really just a set of coaching sessions where a young person can reach out to a coach that is matched specifically to their needs, so they can have discussions about some aspect of their health that they would like to address. And I think that what we really want to do is teach in those coaching sessions, in some respects, a vocabulary for young teens, especially, to start to understand themselves. It's one of those areas in school that is so critical to health and well-being going forward, but is never really taught. How do you, if you're a 13, 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old human, learn to talk about your needs, learn to talk about your feelings, learn to talk about your health? So these coaching sessions aimed directly at kids are, yes, to assist them with, maybe a health issue that they have, or maybe an emotional concern that they have, but even more importantly, to get them into a frame of mind where they are brave enough to talk about what is upsetting them, and they are brave enough to learn a new language to advocate for themselves. Because I know when I was growing up, I'm 41 years old, I didn't know anything about how to approach my inner world. When I was 13 years old, everything was the world's biggest deal. And because everything was the world's biggest deal to me, it was definitely the world's biggest deal to my parents. And I didn't have a mindfulness practice or an awareness practice that would teach me, oh, Mona, are you feeling this way because you're not getting the right amount of sleep? Or Mona, are you feeling this way because you don't feel nourished either physically or emotionally? And getting kids support early on where they really are able to truly get a handle around their own interior worlds is a very critical objective of those coaching sessions. So for the teenage cohort specifically, that product is about, one, addressing the needs of the client or the teen; two, teaching the teen or the client that they are in control of their emotional and physical world; and three, allowing them to develop, again, that vocabulary and that set of practices to teach them how to be experts in themselves. Because something that I think everybody really needs to understand, especially in the health universe going forward, is there is nobody who will advocate for your health and well-being better and more strongly than you. So if you are able to understand yourself, and if you are able to understand how to talk about yourself, you're empowered throughout your life to continue to do that in all kinds of different situations.
That sounds a very meaningful initiative. So tell us something about the workshop From Jealousy to Joy.
Well, we were looking to create a workshop or program that would speak to people who self-sabotaged because of envy or jealousy. This was an area that Jator, my co-founder, had noticed was something that tended to hamstring, both overtly and covertly, many of his clients and many of the clients that we see. Sometimes we don't admit to jealousy. Sometimes we don't admit to envy because that's kind of embarrassing. But I don't think that any person that I have ever met is immune from jealousy, from feeling insecure around people, from the contempt that we sometimes use to mask our jealousy, i.e., she's not so cute after all, or I don't care about money that much, that type of thing. So what we really wanted to do was explore, what is the root of jealousy? What is the root of envy? And if we can understand why we feel these things and make friends in some respect with the fact that, okay, yeah, this person maybe has something that I want, and I don't want to admit that I want. Can we understand those emotions well enough to listen to the message they have for us, i.e., what part of what this other person has is something that's my soul's true longing? And how do I have a conversation about that that's productive and supportive and self-affirming as opposed to self-negating? And when you feel jealousy or envy, there's always an aspect of self-negation. So that's something that we as an organization are very conscious of, to remove the shame and stigma from certain types of feeling states. So from jealousy to joy really is exactly that. How do you recognize jealousy in yourself? How do you recognize envy in yourself? How can you take a look at those feelings and learn how to use them so you can thrive, as opposed to sort of sweeping them under the rug, feeling shameful about them, and then subconsciously self-sabotaging.
Interesting. So share with us the outline of the meditation, peace, harmony, and learning to sleep.
That's our sleep meditation. It's pretty self-explanatory. As a holistic health company, we really underline the importance of sleep. Sleep is one of the finest antidepressants in the world. Sleep is one of the finest weight loss methodologies in the world. Sleep is one of the finest mood and hormone governing activities in the world. So that's a meditation that really takes you through sleep hygiene. And that's not just about removing blue light and doing all of those other sort of things before bed. It's about getting the body into a state of real relaxation and creating a meditative state that allows us to actually make that transition between the working day and time for us to enter into sleep in a way that is intentional and regular.
That's great. So what is the whole quiz about?
Oh, that's to match you with a coach. Like, we take it seriously that everybody who walks in through our door has a very unique set of social pressures, of objectives, of ideas about the world and what they feel or perceive as causing them pain. So we have a quiz on our website that really tries to get as much information as possible so that we can match our clients with the appropriate coach. I do think that one of the most important things in the mental health revolution that we're probably experiencing right now is this idea that no one person is the same as another person. No one person's experiences can be generalized to another person's experiences. So while we're never going to be able to say, okay, you know, we're gonna give everybody like something that's super duper unbelievably tailored to them, because we are still all human and there's similarities. by undertaking the quiz, what ends up happening with our clients is we get the information that we need to make sure that the program that we develop for them and the coach we assign to them are really well matched to that person's actual life, and understanding that person's actual life and all of the determinants of health that go into it. Relationships, food, diet, rest, inner work, mental state, heart space, all of that stuff.
That's great. I believe the fact that you try to go in deep into the your clients' problems and try to find a solution that can be like only used by them. You know, like many of them do provide a general solution that will be ideal for most of them, and do not really give enough consideration to the minor ones who suffer from some special problems. In fact, so lastly, sorry, yeah.
My demons are my own. The things that keep me from transforming are my own. The things that keep you from transforming are your own. The things that keep any client who walks in through our door from transforming are their own. And we would be doing a piss poor job if we didn't take the time to understand that and to help the person who is coming to us for help unearth those demons and have a conversation with them, and maybe use their wisdom and insight to actually make the changes they need to make.
Interesting. Lastly, what do you think this world needs the most?
That's definitely a rapid fire question. Compassion. I think the world needs more compassion. I think it's a word that people don't understand as much as they need to. The word is, its etymology is compassione, or to suffer with. And I don't know that we have a good handle anymore on how to approach things with the heart first, and to understand that another person has a lived experience that we can recognize as being a fundamentally other human experience. I think people are quite addicted to judgment. I think people are quite addicted to believing that they are right. It's an extremely addictive feeling, but it doesn't help. I've never been able to judge somebody into happiness or judge them into making the right decision. People are going to do what they are going to do for their lives. And compassion and understanding of that, I have noticed, creates more solutions than almost anything else.
Well, on that beautiful note, we come to the end of this interview session. Thank you for joining us today, Mona, and for patiently answering all our queries. We appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Have a good one. Bye, Nalima.
Bye.